Yo, we gotta talk about how once a kid turns 18, they're grown and boom, they're gone. Like, you're 18 now. Like, okay, you're 18 now. It's time to move out. It's time for you to go figure out life. But here's the truth that a lot of people don't want to hear. Turning 18 actually doesn't make you automatically grown and ready for real life. Legally, are you an adult? Yeah. But scientifically and financially, not really. A lot of 18-year-olds, are just unprepared, confused, and not really know the right way to go as far as guidance goes with real life. And parents who just kick out their kids at 18, ready to throw them in the deep without preparing them, is actually setting them up for failure, low key. That's not tough love. That's unfinished parenting, respectfully. Let's break it down though. All right, because I know there's going to be some people too that might be thinking, well, I was 16 and I moved out, or I was 18 and I moved out and I'm doing fine. But for the people who weren't fine, I ain't gonna lie, a lot of y'all definitely probably had to struggle at some point, because there's no way y'all got it just all together and all figured out. Is there a select few that might have? Yeah, but probably very minimal. So let's just break it down. What up, YouTube? It's your boy Nano, and I'm back again on the channel, man. Look, man, by the title, man, we really just gonna dive in. And parents kicking out their kids at 18 because they're 18, they're an adult now. Go live your life. And parents, y'all gotta stop doing that. Y'all parents gotta stop kicking y'all kids out at 18 just because y'all think they're grown, because now that they're an adult, yet they're not prepared. And why I said it's unfinished parenting, for one, the brain isn't even developed yet fully. This isn't even about my opinion. That's actually neuroscience. See, we all have a thing called the prefrontal cortex. That frontal lobe, yeah, that doesn't develop till around age 25. And that's not even just from me. That's from basic research of National Institutes of Harvard and Health. Just a quick little research on where you could go find it. So imagine this, right? You got an 18-year-old who got a halfway built brain, basically, right? Out here trying to sign leases, trying to finance a car, manage stress, handle debt, get a full-time job, and make life-changing decisions like going to school, picking a college or whatever, if they go. And y'all really just expect them to get that right away at 18? 18 is the magic number. And like I said, that's really just setting them up for failure. If they're not prepared in those aspects and you just throwing them right into the deep end, that's like getting somebody who doesn't know how to swim and just throw them in the water and say, yo, just learn how to swim, you got this. Or learn how to swim, you grown now, you're 18 now, you should know how to swim. Even though their whole life, they never swam. And for my minorities out there, let's be real, we're not really taught the basics. We're not taught about finances. We're not taught about credit, loans, and how to properly maneuver things. We're not taught that. You know what I mean? And that's really unfortunate, but it's just the truth. But this isn't even just about minorities. This is about a lot of people too who might have had a background of some financial burdens that they might not have been aware of or educated on. And that's normal, this is just the life we live. Let's be real. A lot of 18-year-olds to this day don't know. Matter of fact, not even just 18-year-olds. I know a lot of people who are over 18 that don't know how to work with a budget, how credit scores even work, what even are interest rates, how to cook even a frozen food. Can we be real? And unfortunately for my generation, there's a lot of studies on my generation as far as like knowing what financial literacy is. We're not taught these things in school. Right, we're just graduating at 18, around that age, and you think that we're just gonna hop in field and already are equipped with the answers? No, it's just not how the grass is cut. So with all of that, not knowing any of that, and some even adults that might not even know that, you expect to just throw them out there, a world that revolves around debt and credit and bills. Come on now, y'all know what it is with these bills, especially in today's time. Everything is just so expensive. Y'all really think they're gonna have it figured out? I'm young too, so it's not like, I was once 18. I'm young as well, so it's not like I'm, so old. But like, let's just be real. Like, that's just something that I've noticed. Like, I got some friends too that I know that they were kicked out at 18, or they had to get a living because they were 18. And just, I don't know. I never really liked that. I really never did. You know what I mean? I just don't think that, like I'm saying, like, you're not prepared for the real world yet. Don't get me wrong, is there some parents out there that are teaching these kids these basic fundamentals of life? Yeah, there probably is, but majority of them are not. And then y'all expecting them to just go learn it out by themselves. without guidance, that's unfinished parenting. To me, that's not even about independence anymore. That's straight out neglect. It messes with people mentally, emotionally, financially, obviously, you know, and it kind of even could build that little resentment. You know, they're building that anxiety, that stress, and even might even go into depression. Now, some parents might be looking at this like, whoa, they're 18, you know, they should be at least, you know, having a job and getting some money. Yeah, I'm not over here trying to say at 25 years old, if your kid is over there sitting down playing Fortnite all day and still living with you and not really doing anything, I'm not saying accepting that too. But what I'm talking about is taking your 18-year-old who you might know that you haven't told them anything about credit, you haven't told them anything about the real life situations, and then you're just throwing them outside in the field expecting them to get it together because they're 18, the magic number. But what I'm saying is there's a difference between enabling somebody and then preparing somebody. It's two different things. Letting your child stay home a while they finish school, save money, learn life skills, build credit. And to me, I think that's more parenting with purpose, parenting with preparation, rather than just enabling them and then forcing independency on them. Really not just pushing them out of the bird's nest and expecting them to fly right away. Parenting doesn't stop at 18. It don't. Yeah, they're an adult, but that don't make you not a mother, not a father anymore because they turn 18. You're still their parent. So this idea that you're finished at 18, your job is done, they finished high school, is a lie. What you did is actually hit the checkpoint of bare minimum. Because to the kid, your kid is still looking at you as a guide, their parent, a teacher, and even a support system. And studies even showed that kids with a strong family support system make better lifelong term decisions than ones that don't. They also handle stress better, more financially stable in the future. So ask yourself, are you actually preparing your child to leave? Or you just want to stop parenting because they turned 18? So let me say this clearly. So if you're a parent and you're thinking about kicking your kid out at 18, or it was done to you, or because that's what society tells you, don't. You don't raise a kid till they're just 18 years old. They still need you. You don't just raise them at 18 just to throw them in a bunch of pile of wolves with no proper tools on how to take on the wolves. Who has ever built a crib or built anything without looking at the manual? Now, granted, I don't want to hear people like, oh, I'm a visual learner. No. The directions are there for a reason, so you know what proper tools to use to build whatever you're crafting. Parenting goes the same way. I want you to also understand too what was normal for, you know, when you guys was 18, you know, to the parents who might have been kicked out at 18 and planning on doing it to the, you know, your child once they turn 18 or have done it. I just want you to understand that there's a bunch of studies on, you know, kids really just aren't prepared. They don't even know basic financial literacy. Have you even thought about preparing your kid instead of just throwing them to the deep end? Now, if that was you, or that is you who've done it, let's put an end to it. You know, you got to raise them to be strong. Yeah, you can raise them to be independent, but you can't just leave them all abandoned and neglected, you know? And just because they've reached a certain age, they still need you. Your child still needs you. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. And it doesn't stop at 25 either. When I told you that our brain, you know, that prefrontal cortex fully develops at 25, it doesn't mean also too that, you know, we still don't need our parents. We still need them for that guidance, because that experience that you already had, you got to prepare your child. And if you were somebody who was kicked out early, who's watching this too, you know, I want to say I'm sorry, because you definitely deserve better. But now you also have that chance to break that cycle, break that mold, because what we got to do is do it differently for the next generation to come. Point blank, period. If you've been through this and you're somebody who either got kicked out or your parents prepared you to be stable once you left your home, hit a like on this video and even comment and share this to somebody too who can relate. And even in the comments, we could talk about it. Even if you're a parent who kicked out your kid at 18, you know, we could talk about it in the comments. You know, if it hit you a little bit, I'm not here to, you know, bash your parents. And, you know, there's some things that we think that are socially normal. So I'm not here to bash anybody or make anybody feel like, you know, low. And it might even hit you a little bit like, damn, you know, like, I didn't even think about it like that. And that's okay, because you could still do better starting right now. But if this video helped you in any way or made you think any differently, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, man. I want to say I appreciate all the love and support I've been getting. Appreciate anybody who been tuned in and watching these videos, man. I appreciate y'all, man. More videos to come. If there's any topics too that people want me to touch upon, shoot me a DM on my Instagram. You know, everything was in the beginning on the intro. And I believe it should be in the description too. Subscribe for more content, more talks, and, you know, hopefully too in the future, some more vlogs too coming up, man. I'm out. Peace.